The Bitcoin price may potentially be on the brink of collapse. The Federal Reserve has slashed interest rates to zero. What may the effect of this be on the cryptocurrency market? And is it time to get this crypto? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. In addition to the absolutely savage, heinous price action we've seen here inside the Bitcoin chart, we also have to acknowledge the fact that the Federal Reserve has now cut interest rates to zero and is launching a massive $700 billion quantitative easing program right here, right now. How may this potentially affect the price of Bitcoin and the altcoins? We're going to look at these charts, my friends, and we're going to break down what could potentially happen here over the next coming days, weeks, and months. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up, all right? So we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the 1 week time frame for Bitcoin. Now, I just want you guys to keep in mind that I've been pointing out that my opinion here is that Bitcoin is probably going to see some ping pong action within this range, whether it's in this small immediate range here or whether it swings high up into the underbellies and ceilings of this range. Keep in mind, this is the ranges are quite large. In the middle here, for me, it's almost 40%. And from bottom, let's pull this from the bottom to the top here. I mean, that's a swinging range of roughly 133%. So say Bitcoin was to drop to 3,000. I mean, it really wouldn't surprise me if there was a potential bounce all the way back up even towards 7,000. I mean, that I'm not predicting that. I'm not saying that. I'm just showing you that based upon the range here, it wouldn't surprise me for moves of that magnitude to potentially occur, especially if we were to retest up towards 7,000 now. It wouldn't surprise me to still potentially see a dip down towards 3K. Just keep it on your radar that this range is huge right now, although I do think that the price may be locked into this area for quite some time. Let's get this crypto. So now let's discuss what's going on here in terms of the daily action. Well, I just want to zoom in quickly to the 1 hour. We see there's a bunch of nothing going on. We had our initial capitulation down towards 3,000, right? 3.8K stuck in the bottom for the time being. And now we've largely just traded sideways with a bunch of chop in between. Now, the only real move of substance here over the past 24 hours was this right here. And this, my friends, was after we had the announcement that the Federal Reserve was going to be cutting interest rates to zero. I actually did open a little long position here just in case that news sparked an epic fireworks of a move here. It did not. I wound up moving my stop loss to break even, and I got exited out of my trade. No loss, no gain. And right now, I'm analyzing for my next trade setup right now, which I will keep you up to date with in VIP. So if you're not already in my VIP, today is the day. It's time to get this crypto, okay? But right now, we could see that after all of these shenanigans here, the Bitcoin price has essentially climbed right back to where it was yesterday, essentially a neutral day right now. And we've seen now that this cut, at least for the time being today in the traditional markets, has not had a positive effect overall either. The markets, at least at the time of recording, are still negative on the day. Now, moving forward, this gets interesting because many want to speculate that Bitcoin is a store of value. It's a hedge against the markets. I mean, my friends, this action here speaks for itself, right? This Bitcoin right now has not been a hedge against the markets, right? You can't even be in that delusional state anymore. And I understand some of you want to be, but you have to understand here that when the market went into turmoil, Bitcoin lost 63% from the high to the low. I mean, that is not any sort of hedge. That is not a store of value. That is nothing besides a speculative trading instrument being sold off in sheer panic because people are reducing their risk in these very volatile and uncertain times. Let's get this crypto, okay? For me right now, Bitcoin's upper end targets, let's go back, we'll look at the 4-hour. The upper end targets here for me still remains this underbelly of the box. I mean, around 5,800. You could see we wicked up there twice and have continued to sell off. This action to me, although the RSI on the 4-hour is still very low, right? I mean, still very oversold. Although we are seeing that the daily is still in oversold on the RSI here as well. I mean, my friends, this setup to me just still looks bearish. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is not an easy range to trade now. One, the trade is very hot, which if you are subscribed here, you would know. I've discussed this in the past. When the trade is hot, meaning a lot of degenerates and wrecked retail traders are trying to FOMO into shorts and FOMO in to try and catch the bottom without any sort of confirmation, you get a bunch of chop like this, because this to me is just the degenerates. I envision as, oh, I'm long, I'm short, and it just causes a bunch of chopping action that liquidates these fools back and forth over and over and over and over again until the trade is no longer hot, begins to flatline, and then we get the move up or the move down, right? You should know, my friends, I've discussed it, that I do not like to get into new trades when the market is too hot, right? Except for this little shenanigan move here. I did try and catch that based on the news, but I told you I already exited for no loss or no gain. Right now, and just to make it clear, if there was no news there, I would not have been entering any position there at all. It was purely news-based on my end, right? So right now, to me, the structure still looks bearish, but as I've stated, it's very difficult to go short as well, in my opinion, purely because we're so oversold. And we are also right now still at an area that does have some classic looking support to it, right? We have this prior peak over here back in August 2017. We then have this consolidation cluster there from April 2019. And right now we are trading at that region right now. It's a little difficult to try and FOMO into a short right now, although I do believe we are going to see this cool off and get some real direction in this trend. I mean, right now, it's just a wait and watch for me here. I'm currently strategizing for what I'm looking to do here in terms of positions when I get the confirmation. And as I've stated, ladies and gentlemen, I will be posting all of my trade setup ideas, entries, exits, targets, everything exclusively for you in VIP. If you're not already in my VIP, today is the day. It's time to get this crypto, okay? But moving forward here, with Bitcoin, there's not much that I can look to do here besides understand that this red box between 5,800 and 7,000 appears to be a large potential resistance zone. As I showed you yesterday, mix in the Fibonacci here as well, right? The Fibonacci extension targets, and you have the honey hole of Don Carbonaccio right here with the 0.5 and the 0.618, right between 5,950 and 6,600. So if we are to bounce up in there, you know, for me, that is an area to expect a potential rejection and continuation of the bear market. If we are to drop to the low side, my friends, I do believe Bitcoin is probably at least going to see some defense from the bulls in this green zone all the way down to 3,000. I have a tough time believing that we're just going to purge through 3,000. But, I mean, the same thing could be said for up here, right? Where, you know, we saw this range here, and it seemed like Bitcoin would probably show some bullish defense at that range before potentially dropping through. It did not. It cut through it like a hot knife through butter. And right now, I don't want to rule anything out of the cards. So for me, I'm focusing on the ping pong here. That's basically all I can tell you for Bitcoin right now. We're going to move on to the altcoins, as I promised you on yesterday's stream that this would be an altcoin super show. And my friends, these altcoins, prepare yourselves for what I'm about to show you, because these charts are absolutely shocking in my opinion. Okay, so keep in mind that right now the market is absolutely turbulent. We're getting news that changes the infrastructure of everything almost on a daily basis. So we're going to have to watch the developments here in the traditional market with the effects of this rate cut and the QE program. It's too early for me to make a statement. I'm sure there's plenty of other analysts right now that are declaring, this is what will happen. It's way too early. Right? I look at this market as a realist. I don't want to make some blasphemous prediction and then it not come true, right? Why would I do that? I'm going to take it day by day. I'm going to analyze, use the information to the best of my ability to use it to potentially crush the market like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can. Very rational, very logical. I don't want this to be blown out of proportion. So I'm going to take it day by day and strategize to crush it, okay? And now, my friends, before we move forward here with the altcoins, I just want you guys to understand again that 5 days ago, I put out that video saying that Bitcoin could potentially drop to the 5K to 3K region, and it did just that, right? While every moon boy and their brother was screaming that we were going to the moon still. You'll never get Bitcoin at these prices ever again. Kirby, don't you see there's some trend line that goes all the way back to 2015? You see how suddenly, when push comes to shove, none of this matters, right? There's all of these metrics that these degenerates will show you that is promising you that Bitcoin will go to 100K by 2021. All of this nonsense, my friends. The thing is, for me, is that at the end of the day, you have to look at this realistically. This isn't 2009, my friends. Everybody knows about Bitcoin. You understand? You see parabolic growth like that for tens of thousands of percents when nobody knows what an asset is, okay? That's when you're in at the ground floor of an asset, okay? Bitcoin is not at the ground floor. Bitcoin is over 10 years old, and it went through a parabolic bubble, okay, that brought the entire cryptocurrency market cap of the whole space to almost $1 trillion. And these people just expect this type of action to occur forever. Could it? Theoretically, sure. Is it likely? In my opinion, not at all. That's why I look at this from a trading perspective, up and down. This market is very, very volatile, okay? And that's what provides trading opportunity. That's why I look for trades on a daily basis and keep you updated with my trades in VIP. For right now, I think that many are starting to understand that looking at these models and things of that nature that are absolutely just pipe dreams, I think they're starting to realize that that's not very smart to do, okay? And for example, I'm just keeping it real with you that there's a lot of things going on right now with the economy. The Bitcoin halving is coming up as well. You have to be diligent here, my friends. I don't even think the halving is that bullish, which I've explained. I've explained it enough if you're subscribed here. If not, subscribe now. I'll probably explain it again at some point here over the next week, okay? Let's get this crypto. But let's move into the altcoins now, okay? This is Ethereum here. I'll actually pull it up from over here. This is Ethereum. And my friends, basically, in a nutshell here, let's move this to the weekly time frame. This is the logarithmic view, okay? Keep in mind that Ethereum on its first leg to the downside bounced off of this 0.5 Fibonacci, came back up, formed a lower high, bounced down, another lower high, and we are right now forming a potential double bottom here. Now you hear this and you might say, oh, double bottom, bullish, Kirby, bullish, because that's what every moonboy degenerate has trained you to think that a double bottom means. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, to me, it could potentially be quite the opposite. We see here now, let me remove this fib for now. We could see here that I have the Fibonacci extensions of this move pulled up. And I want you to understand that just like Bitcoin, if we do see a bounce from the current level, here is the honey hole of the Don, right here between 163 and 187. That is the 0.5 and the 0.618 Fibonacci extension targets of this swing, right? And my friends, if we bounce into there and fail, I mean, it's just a continued series of lower highs and a bottom forming here to form what? What does the pattern that looks like this form, my friends? That is known as a descending triangle, which is a classic technical analysis bearish pattern of which we've seen break down time and time and time again all throughout the cryptocurrency market. And if we are to bounce, right, and that forms, I mean, it looks very bearish to me. And if we don't bounce, my friends, we have to understand that the next target's down. Let me pull up my fib again here. The next target down for me is certainly looking like a test to the next Fibonacci retracement, which for me, my friends, is the 0.618 right here around around $48 USD. Okay, that also coincides here with this consolidation we saw. So we have two things working for us, right? Loss of the fib, so the next fib logically becomes the target. And my friends over here, we do have a prior consolidation, which could act as new support as well. Okay, just keep that in mind. Keep it in mind, because from where we're trading at right now, it could be an absolutely tumultuous decline. Okay. And we'd have to see, could there be value in actually buying for the long term at this range? Maybe. For myself, I'm going to have to analyze that at that time. It's too far ahead for me to discuss at this moment. Now let's move forward here. Litecoin, my friends, very much the same here, except this one is even riskier in my opinion. As say we get the bounce again, right? It doesn't have to happen because we certainly see here we've have 3 relative touches. But if we bounce, I mean, for me, my friends, it looks up right into this honey hole between the 0.5 and the 0.618, around $45 up to $53. If we fail at that region, it'd be another continued series of lower highs forming a bearish descending triangle. And if we break that, my friends, right, and if we are to see this break, I mean, do you see any support here? Do you see any support at all? Hold on, let me get rid of this. Do you see any support at all from the price of $20 down to roughly about $4 or $5 USD? I certainly don't. So if we lose that floor, I mean, essentially the floodgates could break open, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what a classic bubble pop would look like, is that you essentially get all the way back down to the breakdown point. Okay, that's essentially what you'd be looking for in a textbook bubble pop. It just is what it is, right? Let's get this crypto. I mean, I don't think that necessarily has to occur like that, but it could. It could. Same here with XRP. I want you guys to understand right now, the bottom of this consolidation here where we're trading at now is at the 0.5 fib retracement. Next logical target, look where it lines up beautifully there with our old resistance, which could now turn into new support. It's around 6 cents, my friend, 6 cents USD. These moon boys. Kirby, don't you know that XRP is going to be $500? My friend, you don't even understand. You weren't even in the space when XRP traded for nothing. It traded for less than a penny, okay? Everybody made all their money when it went up to 5 cents. When it went up to 20 cents, it was like it was the world had, whatever. It was the greatest thing of all time. Okay, this was when the money was made in XRP. These degenerates buying up here shouting for $500, you sound like a fool. I'm just telling you how it is, okay? And the thing is that we did already hit my honey hole target number 1. If you've been subscribed forever and a day, you guys would know that I've been showing you the possibility of hitting 15 cents for a long time. They all called me crazy. Kirby, you! Because at the time, it was roughly a 50% drop to where we were going to see 15 cents. And I said, don't rule it out of the cards. Just because you've drank this hopium Kool-Aid that XRP is going to change the world doesn't mean that the market is going to respect your dreams and aspirations, little James. And it did not. And it's dropped 50% from where I said it could drop 50%. And right now we are at that target number 1. So if we are to bounce just like the others, maybe we get back up towards 20 cents to 22 cents to hit those fib extension targets. Maybe. If we do, it's going to continue to form a lower high. It's going to continue to keep us within our potentially bearish range. And if that loses the floor here, we would have lost historic price support. Then we would have lost the 0.5 fib retracement. And then where does the next logical target become, ladies and gentlemen, with no prior historic price action support within this range? For me, it becomes the old resistance, potentially to turn into new support at the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement of the macro move down around 6 cents USD. Let's get this crypto fired up. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video. It helps with the algorithm. Please leave a comment on the video. It helps with the algorithm. I so appreciate you, and I hope you appreciate me. Let's get this crypto. Total crypto market cap, saving the best for last. What does this look like here, ladies and gentlemen? An absolute descending triangle debacle on the brink of potentially breaking down right here, right now. And if this does break down, my friends, over the next coming weeks and we see a loss of this floor here, where do we see any support, my friends? Where? I mean, maybe this here, which it doesn't look like much, but if we drop the percent tool down to it, I mean, 60%, healthy 60% drop. And if that's not it, right, if that's too small, I mean, what are we talking about here? Right? There's not much, and I understand the space has changed greatly. So, I mean, these prices seem blasphemous, and I agree. They probably will never go that low again. But, I mean, dropping below this floor, we are going to be in for some turbulence here, my friends, as this is going to be bearish price discovery here. Where will the bulls step back to form the new fair value range, right? They're going to have to create it out of thin air, as there's really not anything historic to go off of here. So prepare yourself. If we drop through this range, this is going to be one of the most historic times for the altcoin market, in my opinion. Just like this was historic on the way up, it's likely going to be historic on the way down with tons of action. And I know personally, if that is in fact to occur the way I think it can, I'm going to be looking for trading opportunity within the altcoin market as well. And I will be keeping you all updated with my trade alerts in VIP. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. So my friends, I don't know if anybody has been nailing this trend to the wall like the Don. In terms of the macro trend, I feel that I've called it to a T. I mean, you know, and I'm sure the degenerates, oh, Kirby, stop tooting your own horn. I'm not tooting my own horn, you sick, twisted degenerate. What I'm telling you is that every moon boy and their brother screamed to you for months that the bottom was in. You'll never see Bitcoin below 10,000 again. Then up here, never below 8,000 again. And now down here, my friends, what do you think they're saying down here? What do you think they're saying? You're never going to see these prices ever again. Clowns, my friends. Everywhere the Bitcoin price goes is the bottom to them, right? If Bitcoin went up to 50,000 today, that's the bottom. That's the bottom. Never below again. If it drops down wherever, it's always the bottom to these people. You understand? Be careful with what you're analyzing, my friends. Be careful. I'm not always going to be correct with my analysis. Nobody is. But what I do here on a daily basis is give you my real analysis the best way that I can. And I do it in a sense that I feel is realistic, not based off fundamentals, not based off of, you know, a hope and a dream like these moon boys love to do. Okay, so for me right now, this is the time to prepare for savage action here. And if you're not already in my VIP, as I've already stated, I'm going to be posting my trade setups around the clock as I potentially look to crush this market like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can. Whether this rips up or rips down, you best believe it's Don Carbonaccio who'll be looking to strike like a cobra out of the grass and get this crypto. If you're not already in my VIP, today is truly the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I'll see you in VIP right now after this video. My friends, one last time, for the algorithm, smack that thumbs up, leave a comment, anything. Thank you, Kirby. No thank you, Kirby. I agree, I disagree, Kirby, anything. Comment anything you want. I so appreciate you. I hope you appreciate me. Let's get this crypto. I'll see you all in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. And until next time, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.